Hello, everybody. Welcome to the day shift, our midday segment. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Happy lunchtime. It is officially time for the Hot Lunch Mix on KCCR Radio, the Brownstone Center. So if you're not listening, that means you're watching me, which is good, which is amazing. So let me go ahead and stand my mic up just a little bit. All right, you guys, listen, it's your girl Paulette. I am a part of brownstoneworldwide.com, Brownstone Living and Essentials, Brownstone Living Magazine, and also KCCR Radio, the Brownstone, our podcasting streaming app. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. I am going to be giving you news and information that you can use. And then, of course, we are going to be talking about all of the things that are happening here in the Brownstone. So first things first, what I want to do is I definitely want to talk to you guys about what's happening in the news. Okay, so right now, if you all have not been paying attention, Congress is hanging out with Mr. Chew, who is the CEO of TikTok. Y'all, they are ripping him a new one. And I am absolutely disgusted about how they are handling this young man. They are rude. They are dismissive. They are not allowing him to have his say. And what I have been doing is sharing some of that content directly on our Facebook page at Brownstone Worldwide. I am completely disappointed in this particular administration and disgusted in how they are handling him. This is clearly a witch hunt, and it has nothing to do with national security. He has tried his best to answer their questions, and they are not allowing him to. They continue to keep cutting him off. It is absolutely disgusting what I am witnessing right now. And I just had to come on here and talk about that. Here is what I need us as American citizens to do, because I've had enough. I am blown away. Like, I literally am blown away at what I am witnessing. And so, again, I'm going to be sharing some of that a little bit later on Brownstone Worldwide. But let's get into some news and information that you can use so that we can talk about what's happening with us in this country. Okay. So let's talk about what's in the news. So again, we have been talking about TikTok and the potential ban that is going on right now. So what is happening right now is Mr. Chew is facing some fierce questioning from U.S. lawmakers, and it is absolutely disgusting. Currently, he's testifying about the app and how it does not collect precise user locations, declining to share his annual salary, and repeatedly attempting to frame issues from data privacy to the spread of misinformation as industry-wide rather than company-specific concerns. Now, the Biden administration recently threatened to bar the app over fears that its Beijing-based owner, ByteDance, could pass user data to the Chinese government. And I'm a little concerned here because if we're talking about providing information to any government, any platform can do that if it is requested so by the U.S. government. So it's not that this is anything new, right? So I'm a little concerned. It is really disappointing to see how they are literally giving him a hard way to go. So let me continue with this, you guys. In remarks released ahead of his appearance before a House committee, Chew argued that a ban would silence TikTok's 150 million American users and threaten the livelihoods of 5 million small businesses. For more coverage on this, we're going to be sharing some more information with you guys a little bit later. I'm really disappointed on how they are handling him, how they're talking to him as if, like Senator Wahlberg literally would not let this young man open his mouth not one time. And he consistently said over and over, the Communist Party, the Communist Party, the Communist Party, the Communist Party. It is absolutely disgusting how they are handling this. The only one that I saw that provided any type of information that was valid was Representative Clark. And she talked about the disparities of African Americans that were blocked or who were not given the opportunity to become a part of the Creator Fund after using words like Black Lives Matter or using the word Black, and they would be completely blocked from the platform or they would be suppressed. And so those were definitely some things that, myself and others have experienced in using the application. But a lot of the things that they're talking about, literally, I have not seen on the application at all. And this really, really honestly is, you guys, this is an absolute witch hunt. And it is clear that that's what this is. Their goal is to try to sell it to the biggest bidder, the 20%, or to get TikTok or ByteDance to actually do that. And so one of the things that Mr. Chew did say was that there were 3 of the 60% of the company that is owned by individual investors. This is a private company. It is not owned by the Chinese government in any way. It's a privately held company. 20% is owned by ByteDance and 60% is owned by private investors, 3 of which are American. And so here we are in this dance of sorts, talking about making TikTok inaccessible to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in the United States of America, because a group of old heads have decided, based upon whatever figures, that this needs to be the topic of conversation that we should be having. And I think that is where I have had my concern, because this is clearly a witch hunt. I need you guys, if you are not paying attention, I'm going to be sharing more information on Brownstone Worldwide throughout the day, because what I am witnessing currently is hard to watch, because they're not allowing this young man to have his say. They're asking him what his annual salary is. That's none of your business. What does that have to do with what we're talking about here today about? And I understand that he was doing his best to hold his composure. He did better than I could. And now the other thing that they should absolutely be doing is they should be talking to the people that have been impacted by TikTok. And not holding anything back with that, right? So not just holding this man to one standard, but also talking to the people who have been impacted by TikTok. And the hard part is that, guys, I'm over here and it's literally live right now, and I'm watching it as it's, going through, and Americans are pissed. They're pissed right now. So let me just read to you some of the content that is coming through this feed right now. Number one, somebody said, you can't complain, about the members of Congress. You voted them in. I'm embarrassed on how some of these apps, let's see, some of these representatives are conducting themselves. Remember, I said that they were cutting him off, not allowing him to hold a conversation. This is more like a public execution. It's the people creating dangerous challenges that should be held accountable and prove you care about the kids and get some gun control in this country. So people are pissed. They're saying what they really want to say here. And you can't blame them for wanting to have more say. She says, I joined TikTok to spread awareness about benign brain tumors, not to hurt people. CEO should tell them, I want to talk about how you don't let me speak. That's what he should say, because they literally are not letting him speak. It is disgusting. They didn't even care about Amanda Berry till her daughter busted her out of the prison house. Watching TikTok ban on TikTok is very interesting. They mad we turned off the TV is what it is. These are what people are literally saying right now about this particular, I'm basically watching a witch hunt, right? And you cannot say anything else to me about this not being an absolute witch hunt. This is a witch hunt that is happening right now to this young man. And I am absolutely mortified at what I am watching right now. So it looks like they've taken a break. And right now about 50,000 people are currently watching this. And yeah, I'm watching it on TikTok right now. I sure am. The United States government is absolutely pathetic. What about all of the elite pedophiles that run the U.S. government? No one wants to talk about that, do they? Oh, baby, they are going in over here. I wish that you could see this. And they don't want to understand. They want to control. Go out and vote in every election. And that is where I am going to close this out. If you want to see change, right, you are going to have to get out and vote. Get from behind your phones and go vote. There is an election that is coming up in 2024. Not only that, but folks, let's get out the vote and vote in our midterm elections as well and get these assholes out of here. Yeah, I said it just like that. And I wanted y'all to hear me say that so you are clear on how disgusting this is. This particular witch hunt has no merit. It doesn't even stick like glue to anything or the gum that I just took out of my mouth before I actually went live. I need you guys to understand that this particular witch hunt is about the failure of other social media platforms not being able to cut the mustard in holding people to their platforms. Number one, here's something else I need you all to understand. And I think Isaac Hayes III said it best. He's the founder of Fanbase. He said it best when he said that literally when you're creating content, that becomes the real estate that companies like Meta and others literally go out to the advertisers and say, this is how much content that we have, and we're going to charge you XYZ for this particular content. So basically what you're doing is you're providing the content to these platforms. In turn, that is being purchased. Your intellectual property literally is being utilized to sell to the advertisers, who in turn come right behind that and sell right back to you. I need you all to understand that. Now, I understand that where I am broadcasting right now is being broadcast on every single platform that I can get my hands on. Honey, we are on Twitch, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, in several different areas at the same time. We're on LinkedIn at the same time. We're on Bigo. Y'all, we are everywhere. We're on Fanbase. Listen, so I am not just broadcasting in one particular area, but what I am making sure that I am aware of is what is happening right now, because we're on TikTok as well. My personal page is on there as well as Brownstone Worldwide, honey. We're on Instagram. We everywhere. Listen, we are Brownstone Worldwide, by the way, right? So when we're talking about these issues, I am absolutely disappointed that these Congress people would not let this young man talk or get his thoughts across. It was a continuous, so that's what you're not saying. I didn't say anything because you won't let me. You won't let me. You're not letting me talk. What's happening? Are you gonna let me talk today? Because it was literally him holding a conversation with the air because they didn't hear anything that he said. They did exactly what they wanted to do. And I want to know who's pulling the strings behind this, all of this foolishness. Because, honey, we're talking about gun control laws, or we should be. Isn't that what we should be talking about? How we should have stricter gun control laws, how we should be talking about how we are protecting our children in our school systems, how we should be paying teachers more money, how we should be handling all of the things that is happening or not happening with police reform, which looks to be stagnant right now. But we're talking about an app where 5 million people have literally been able to change their lives because of this particular application. Now, there were some questions that I think were valid. And he said that those were things that they were working on, like making sure that data for American citizens is housed on American soil and managed by American employees. But you're talking about banning TikTok, honey, that is 7,000 United States citizens that are going to be without a job. So now we're talking about something that is just bigger than y'all sitting here working on a witch hunt. Do y'all really think that Reels and the payment to people on this particular application was a stop on by accident? Absolutely, it was not. Okay. All right. I said I was done. Let me go ahead and share with you what he had to say on Tuesday. And this is Mr. Chu.
Hi everyone, it's Joe here. I'm the CEO of TikTok. I'm here in Washington, D.C. today, and I have some news and updates to share with everyone here. Today, I'm super excited to announce that more than 150 million Americans are on TikTok. That's almost half of the US coming to TikTok to connect, to create, to share, to learn, or just to have some fun. This includes 5 million businesses that use TikTok to reach their customers. And the majority of these are small and medium businesses. Now, these numbers are amazing. And I'm so thankful to all of you and the 7,000 TikTok employees in the US who are helping us build this incredible community in America and around the world. Now, this comes at a pivotal moment for us. Some politicians has started talking about banning TikTok. Now, this could take TikTok away from all 150 million of you. I'll be testifying before Congress later this week to share all that we're doing to protect Americans using the app and deliver on our mission to inspire creativity and to bring joy. Let me know in the comments what you want your elected representatives to know about what you love about TikTok.
All right, folks. So we had an opportunity to hear from Shu Chu from China. He is the CEO of TikTok. And I definitely wanted to make sure that you guys got to see him yourself. Go ahead and look at the hearing. It is available on TikTok right now. It's also available, of course, in several different places. But I know that Yahoo is actually streaming it right now. And you can go ahead and check it out. If not, go ahead and check out some of the snippets I have been compiling throughout the day. We're going to be compiling an article about that a little bit later on in the day. I am mortified. I am disgusted on how they are handling this situation without thinking of all of the things. I need to see the data. Where the paperwork at? Okay. I might need to even do some digging to find out. I'm done. I'm done. All right. So let's get into some other things that are super important to us right now. And we need to talk about lab-made chicken clears the FDA hurdle. Y'all heard that right. It's time for me to go back to veganism. Because listen, a second food tech firm has received FDA clearance for its lab-made chicken, Good Meat. Good Meat was actually granted a, quote, no questions letter from the agency on Tuesday for its cultivated chicken, deeming it safe to eat. Now, in about 10 to 20 years, y'all going to see those commercials on TV talking about if you ate Good Meat chicken during the years of X, Y, and Z, you are eligible for complete compensation for the injuries of X, Y, and Z. So rival Upside Foods cleared that hurdle late last year, and both companies still have to get USDA approval before their products actually hit the market. Cultivated meat is created from animal cells without having to slaughter livestock and poultry. The tech is backed by 150 companies globally, per the Wall Street Journal. This is where I'm getting this information from, as a means of limiting animal agriculture and reducing greenhouse gases. Okay, so I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, so let's talk about that. If all you need is a cell from a chicken, does this mean they could replicate the process with any meat? Woolly mammoth steaks, anybody? I got questions. How about white rhino burgers? I'm just curious, it's just, I don't know. So this is really, really interesting to me. Cultivated meat, y'all. We have cultivated meat. I'm floored. Americans are one step closer to being able to buy chicken grown from animal cells, lab grown meat. And I don't know how I feel about that. And then there are going to be those people that are going to say, oh, well, you have an opportunity to get, engineered fruits and vegetables and so forth. And this, that. Listen, grow some fruits and vegetables in your own backyard. Listen, what? The seeds too? Talk to me. I'm just, I'm here for all of the shenanigans today. Okay. One small step for the FDA and one huge step for food science. FDA has approved lab-grown meat as safe. Good Meat actually is clearing that. So here's a question. So I'm going to put this actually on. Let me make a note because I'm going to put this on our Facebook page because I got questions. Good Meat. Is it really good? I am so confused. I really, really am. This is disgusting to me. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I don't know now. And here's the other question. So here's a question that I think should be asked when we're talking about lab produced meats. So the other question is how do we discern what is good meat and what is real meat? Is it going to be a requirement, since we sitting here, we reaming folks over here about TikTok? Is it going to be a requirement for Good Meat to literally tell people on the packaging which one is the good meat and which one is the real meat? I got questions. Because okay. I don't know. So let's talk about the latest layoffs. Because again, we could go in, but I want to make sure that we are letting you guys know we're going to be talking about that over on brownstoneworldwide.com. And we're going to leave the comments open so that you can share what your thoughts are about this good meat. Okay, so let's talk about the latest layoffs. New economic data just came out about 45 minutes ago, and it adds color and contour to our picture of the labor market with evidence of strong hiring seen in reports from ADP and the Labor Department. However, signs of a cool off are also coming into focus. Job openings are actually still declining and layoffs have surged since January. We talked about that on Monday. Okay, so here's where we are. Layoffs making headlines this week. Accenture is eliminating. I need y'all to sit down for this one because I don't think y'all understand how serious this is. Accenture is eliminating 19,000 jobs. That's about 2.5% of its workforce, as spending on IT services continues to decline. More than half of the job cuts are actually going to come from its non-billable corporate functions. Yeah, we know what that means, right? Yeah, all of those needed functions that help the employees to live better and to do better and to be productive on their jobs. The non-billable corporate functions. That would be people like your engagement, your DEI. That would be people like those folks who are a part of your human resources, or other folks that can be combined into one job. They're going to be doing a lot of that. Ask me how I know. So Glassdoor, which shares a parent company with Indeed, actually laid off 140 employees, 15% of its workforce. Okay. So the CEO of the company is actually calling it devastating and a last resort. Recruiting firm Indeed actually announced that it's letting approximately 2,200 people go. Now, their CEO, Chris Hyams, has said he expects those job openings to decrease to pre-pandemic levels or even lower over the next 2 to 3 years, and that the company is simply too big for what lies ahead. So the cuts represent 15% of Indeed's headcount. Chip maker Marvell Technology reduced its workforce by 4% by cutting about 320 jobs. Candor Technology, which is located here in Georgia, creates AI software for the mortgage industry, has reportedly trimmed the size of its already small staff, though exact numbers are not available right now. Now, after eliminating 18,000 jobs in January, Amazon is getting ready to literally lay off 9,000 workers in the coming weeks. Twitch, which is owned by Amazon, is going to lay off 400 employees as a part of this workforce reduction. And Coherent, a maker of lasers and optical gear, informed California officials that it's going to eliminate 108 roles. Okay, so there are more layoffs that we talked about. Krispy Kreme is laying off. They're actually closing one of their factories in Concord, North Carolina. We talked about that earlier. Kaleidoscope is reducing. We already know Meta is getting ready to lay off another 10,000 employees, and they're going to actually close out some job recs. They have about 5,000 that are open. They're going to be reducing those down and closing those out. We also have Tyson Foods that is going to be reducing its workforce by 1,700 people. And we've got Daily Mail that is weighed down by sagging print readership. Did y'all hear that? Print readership and rising printing costs are the issue here. And that's one of the reasons why we're kind of holding back on trying to get Brownstone Living Magazine to print. We are going to open it up where it will be available to people who want to have the print version, but you will have to pay for the print and for the shipping of that particular magazine. I myself personally like to flip through a magazine itself. So of course, I'm going to be ordering one for myself, but we will be opening that up in Q2, and we're definitely going to be letting you guys know about that. All right, now, really unfortunate. Lockheed Martin home tap employees are taking to LinkedIn to share about layoffs at their equity sharing company. Window and curtain company Hunter Douglas is closing a facility in Cumberland, Maryland, and cutting 361 jobs. So again, the job market looks like it's going to continue to have more layoffs, and unfortunately, it's starting to be felt throughout the country, which means in addition to all of the things that are happening with layoffs, Gen X and Y, generations X and Y, are pulling back on their spending. Now, let's talk about how inflation is actually affecting consumer behavior. Now, it depends on a person's age. So among baby boomers, which I'm not, okay, Generation X, millennials, and Generation Z, the two middle generations are the ones that are the most worried about finances, according to a new Jungle Scout report. So a sizable 73% of millennials, more than any other age group right now, believe the U.S. economy has already entered or is on the brink of a recession. So this likely explains why 43% of millennials and 56% of Gen Xers are cutting back on impulse or fun purchases. So here's a question that I have for you. What kinds of things are you actually going to start reducing your spending on, or will you? Is it going to be dining out? Is it going to be home goods? Is it going to be clothing? What about entertainment? Are you going to be reducing that and bringing more of that in-house? Are you going to be cutting more of your expenses and things of that nature? Just wanted to know. When we're talking about expenses, I'm talking about subscriptions. Let me be clear. Beauty and cosmetics. Some of y'all like, girl, no, I ain't gonna be able to do that. So I'm just kind of putting that out there. Are these things that you're considering if you're in this particular consumer group? So yeah. So let's talk about that. Here's what American consumers have been doing. They're using more search engines to compare pricing, right? A lot of people are literally having things shipped from overseas because it's literally cheaper for you to do that as opposed to purchasing it where you are locally. And we know what that's doing to our local economies as well. If we're living in small towns and things of that nature, people are ordering from Amazon. They're ordering from places like, companies that are connected with Amazon and from, Walmart, and even companies like Temu and those places. There's a lot less spending that's going on in our local areas when we're living in towns like where I live, and places in or around the suburban areas of Atlanta. I'm noticing that there's less and less folks that are shopping locally. Okay, so the impact has already been felt for several years. This isn't new. You know what I mean? But what we're noticing is a consumer trends report that is showing that we're spending less and less and less locally, and we're being more savvy with where we are spending our dollars because we want our money to stretch. I know I want my money to stretch. Like, I literally know how to make a dollar holler. Does anybody know how to do that? I would hope that you would. Okay. So you guys, they've literally gone back and they have started reaming this young man once again. Hopefully this next group of folks are going to allow this young man to talk. So we shall see. Okay. So another thing that I definitely wanted to talk about was the feds are pressing ahead with this rate hike. Y'all seen that? So let's talk about it. So about an hour ago, the Federal Reserve actually raised interest rates by 0.25% of a point and suggested it may end a campaign to cool inflation sooner than expected. The move followed a run on regional banks that have been struggling with the impact of the fastest rate increase in a generation. Wednesday's rate increase, the ninth in a year, brought the Fed's benchmark target range to between 4.75% and 5%, the highest since September, listen y'all, 2007. As policymakers persisted in efforts to tamp price increases, still running at a 6% annual pace. So projections show that 17 out of 18 Fed policymakers expect the benchmark rate to rise to at least 5.1% by the end of the year, implying just one more quarter point increase. So the Fed said the U.S. banking system was sound and that recent failures were likely to weigh on credit conditions and ultimately inflation. So the federal chair, Jerome Powell, said he considered pausing rate hikes because the banking crisis. But what the consensus of policymakers was to keep up the fight against inflation. Major stock indices rose in pre-market trading on Thursday after falling following the Fed decision. I need y'all to pay attention. Was it dovish or hawkish? Ask those questions. Okay. Really, really serious stuff here. Okay. Now you have to understand that the Federal Reserve's decision to hike interest rates as a means of combating inflation. However, the recent banking turmoil has actually left many of us wondering whether the Fed's gamble that the crisis will stay contained is actually a wise one. Okay. Now, regulators have put higher capital and liquidity standards in place to ring fence the problems. There is still a risk that this could be a bad decision, right? So, the Fed's decision to raise interest rates may actually have unintended consequences that could trigger economic and financial stress. That's an issue, y'all. I need you all to hear this, because if that happens, it's going to impact middle America. It's going to impact those folks who are below middle America, which we've noticed that there's a larger and larger gap of folks who are considered middle America and middle class and upper middle class, right? So I need you all to think about this and what kind of issues that this is going to entail. Okay. All right. Now, we're also going to be talking about what's happening in Brownstone Worldwide. So let's get into it and discuss with you guys where you can find us on YouTube. Of course, it's going to be Brownstone Worldwide. That's where you can find us. Okay. That's first and foremost. You're going to be able to find us there. The second thing that you're going to be able to do is you'll be able to find us at our own freaking website, which is brownstoneworldwide.com. I'm going to show you an example of what it looks like. This is from, I think, February or somewhere in January, maybe. But this is what the website actually looks like. That is brownstoneworldwide.com. Okay. We've got a ton of information for you guys to take a look at and to read for yourself. We have Cullen's Corner Hot Topics. That's a part of it as well. We also have several different segments that you can participate in if you are so inclined to do so. So if you would like to contribute to Brownstone Worldwide, then I would encourage you to send us an email at contribute@brownstoneworldwide.com. Again, that's contribute@brownstoneworldwide.com. Go ahead and grab your pen. I'm going to ask you to write it down. Contribute@brownstoneworldwide.com. Y'all, I thought I would wear this hair down now that my hair is long enough for me to, grip. So for those of you who don't know, I had surgery, and in between all of that and being sick, my hair fell out and I had to shave all my hair off. And now that it's grown back, to give me some semblance of normalcy, I literally had my hair put in twists. Okay. I have been wearing my hair in locks for almost 20 years. And so it just feels good to kind of have some kind of normalcy back. We'll talk a little bit more about that in another episode of The Day Shift. Let's also talk about what's happening. If you have not gotten your copy of Brownstone Living magazine, you still have an opportunity to subscribe for $5.99 a month. $5.99 a month will get you the latest issue of Brownstone Living magazine sent directly to your inbox. And if you are interested in getting the digital version sent to you in print, we will be happy to do that. And we're going to provide that probably at the end of April for our May edition. You'll be able to get that. So how do you actually get an opportunity to see the magazine? Or you can actually check out a preview. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the actual link so you can take a look at it. Here we go. Let me see. I am going to go to brownstoneworldwide.com. And you guys, listen, Linda. I'm going to share with you all how to check out the preview, because I think it's important for you all to see what Brownstone Worldwide has to offer. So I'm going to go ahead and share this. And honestly, I think it's already in here. I just don't trust myself enough. So I'm going to redo it again. Oh, let's change this one. All right. And let's go ahead and put this information here. And I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to pop it here on the screen, just like that. All right. So bit.ly. Brownstone Living March Preview, bit.ly/Brownstone Living March Preview. You'll be able to actually see about 15 pages of this month's magazine. And if you're interested in subscribing, by all means, you should absolutely do so. Also on that page, if you are interested, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll literally be able to see how you can become a part of the people in the neighborhood. What is that? It's really, really easy, y'all. If you want to be a part of the people in the neighborhood, all you have to do is submit your information. So the people in the neighborhood is a segment of the magazine where we highlight and feature folks like all of us who are making a positive impact in their communities, either through their business, through their nonprofit, their 501c3, their ministry. And we don't discriminate. You're Christian, you're Muslim, whatever you worship, as long as it's your ministry, you're making a positive impact in your community. And then lastly, your artistry. So if you are a musician, if you're somebody that's, doing a come up right now and you want to be a part of Brownstone Living Magazine, I would encourage you to send us an email at theneighborhood@brownstoneworldwide.com. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and put that on the screen. Child, I should have already had it up here. Hang on. Let me see if it's going to let me do it because I might be at my max. I have so much stuff in here, y'all. The neighborhood at brownstoneworldwide.com. Go ahead and put that in there. And just in case it doesn't, I have to steal from somewhere else, I'm going to go ahead and copy that. So again, if you want to, just as I thought. So if you want to become a part of that, what we're going to do is give you the email address so that you can get it again. So the neighborhood, because I screwed that up. Yep, I did. The neighborhood at brownstoneworldwide.com. There you go. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share that with you guys. If you are interested, go ahead and send your information. Here's what we're going to need. We're going to need 6 photos, right? Like you get an actual article, like we feature, when we say we feature you, we feature you. Okay. And so you're going to get six. You're going to get 6 photos that we're going to choose from. Now, we might not use all 6, but we would like a myriad of enough so that we can go ahead and share that out with our community. And then you're also going to provide us with information like your website address, what you do, how you impact your community, all of the things, right? And then we're going to feature you, and we'll let you know which magazine it's going to be in. It might not be in the April edition. It might end up being in the May edition or the June, right? So definitely keep that in mind when you are submitting your content information about who you are and what your business, your nonprofit, your artistry, or your ministry actually does in your community. And we would love to hear from you because, again, it's important that we know who the people in the neighborhood are and how we're impacting what we're doing in each one of the communities that we live and we reside in. I think it's super important for us to do that. Okay, so I definitely wanted to get that out to you all. Once again, if you are new here, I am, it's your girl Paulette. I am one of the owners and founders of Brownstone Worldwide. We're in the Brownstone Worldwide studios, and this, y'all, is The Day Shift with me, your girl Paulette. I am actually entering into my 12th year of doing this particular show. We just decided to do it here with podcasting. So where can you literally find this particular broadcast? You can find us anywhere, right? So we are in a couple of different places, and I'm going to go ahead and share this with you guys, but I want you to know that we're in a couple of different places that you can find us throughout the day. Of course, you can find us on brownstoneworldwide.com/BWTV if you would like to watch The Day Shift there or watch the replays. So both the live and the replays literally air on brownstoneworldwide.com/BWTV. You can also check us out here at KCCR. That's our baby. You see that over in the upper left-hand corner, upper right-hand corner? That's us, folks. Okay. And that photo is me. Okay. So if you want to check out The Day Shift, the daily news podcast with me, your girl Paulette, it is not going to be weekdays at 7 a.m. I don't know who put that up there, okay? But we are going to get to you around noon, between 11:30 and noon. You're going to get your podcast. We're also on Bigo. A lot of people are not familiar with Bigo, but we're also on that particular app as well. We're also on Facebook at Brownstone Worldwide. And then we're also on Spotify. And now on Spotify, not only is it a podcast, but it's also a video podcast as well. So you can check us out there. And then also on YouTube, everything is pinned, of course, Brownstone Worldwide. That's how you are going to find us, so that you can get the news and information that you can use. You can get my perspective, and you can let us know literally your thoughts as well. So once again, if you're not familiar with us, we are Brownstone Worldwide, and we are really, really, really hell bent on making sure that you receive the news and information that you can use, and of course, a little bit of my commentary besides, that you can use and you can go about your day. Okay. The same thing happens with KCCR Radio, the Brownstone, and what we're doing over there. You get news and information. It is talk radio throughout the day. You can go ahead and check that out. And lastly, let me go ahead and put this back up here, y'all. Tonight is actually tonight, y'all. So tonight at 8 p.m., you can join us for Cullen's Corner. Why are so many professional Black women still single? We're doing it from the brothers' perspective. So join Cullen tonight and a couple of the brothers of the Brownstone for their insight and take on this interesting topic. Now, ladies, we are encouraging you to join as well, so that we can get this hot topic popping and we can get this information out to the masses, y'all. So go ahead and join us tonight. Go ahead and scan that QR code, or you can join us at bit.ly/Cullen's Corner Part 2. What that QR code or that bit.ly link is going to provide you is direct access to the Green Room studio, where we can bring you onto the screen. So I'm going to tell you now, that space is limited, but make sure that you're in the space. Now, if you want, you can hang out in the Green Room until we can bring you up. Just kind of wanted to bring that to your attention. Now, let's talk about the Power of Prosperity Legacy Summit with none other than the Nicole Johnson. We are going to be talking about this a little bit later. We're actually going to bring Nicole on and we're going to talk to her because this event is designed to help you take control of your financial future while building a legacy for yourself and for your family. It is actually April 13th through April 15th, 2023. If you want more information about that, I would encourage you to go over to bit.ly/Legacy Summit Gym. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the screen, or go ahead and scan that QR code right there so that you can be in the place. You definitely want to make sure that you're doing that. Super, super, super important. All right. Now, get into the place, because we're going to start sending out email to the community and let you guys know exactly what that is going to be about. And lastly, we want to talk about this baby right here, KCCR Radio, the Brownstone. Listen, if you're looking for an opportunity to share your message with the world and connect with a diverse audience of people who are hungry for your inspiration and guidance, well, this is where you can do it. KCCR Radio. Yeah, we know that you can go over to Spotify and you can go to all of these different places where you can be heard. But we want to make sure that you have a dedicated time and location that people can find you, if nowhere else, right? And that is definitely here at KCCR, the Brownstone, right? So we're opening up the doors. Once again, our new season actually starts April 9th. That doesn't mean that you have to start on April 9th, but for those who are already a part of KCCR, the Brownstone, the new season actually starts on April 9th. If you want to be a part of the incoming season, all you got to do is go to bit.ly/KCCR waitlist. Go ahead and scan that QR code, or write down this particular, or screenshot, whatever you got to do, and get on the waiting list, because we're only taking a select group of people as we continue to grow, so we can nurture everybody the way that they need to be nurtured. So it's not just about giving you a segment. We want to make sure that we're providing you with other valuable services so you can focus more on producing your cases, your podcast to the best of your ability. And we're going to help you do that. Okay. Now, here's something else that we want to definitely do is, if you have any questions at any time about anything that we're doing, you got a suggestion on anything that's happening in the Brownstone, hit us up. How about that? 470-862-0313. Again, that phone number, 470-862-0313. Brownstone Worldwide. You can call the office for advertising, sponsorship, and more. That is currently available. And if we can't get to you right away, say for instance, we're on another call or whatever, we will make sure to get back with you within 24 hours. But again, if you're interested in finding out how to advertise with us, if you want to sponsor one of the platforms, say for instance, KCCR, sponsor one of the shows or whatever, or you want to look into advertising with us and other options that are currently available, because we do have some events that are coming up, what I definitely want you guys to do is to make sure that you give our office a call. Once again, 470-862-0313. All right, folks. I definitely wanted to make sure that we talked about all of the things that are coming down the pipe for Brownstone Worldwide this week. Listen, head over to brownstoneworldwide.com and get all of the juicy news and information that you can use for your workday. I think it'll be really cool for you. I'm super excited about all of that. And I'm really, really disappointed, like I said, about what's happening with this young man right now in Congress. It is literally a witch hunt, and it is absolutely clear that that is what is happening right now. So let's talk about some other things that are coming in the news that we think is important for you guys. It's important for you all to know what's happening because, again, let's just go ahead and talk about it. You know, I always like to leave this for the last because it's important, but it's not. Right. But we definitely need to know what's happening with the legal developments in the Donald Trump case. OK, as of today. OK, so let's look at what the new updates are and what those look like. OK, so former President Donald Trump faces multiple investigations, but the most immediate potential indictment could come from a probe related to his alleged role in a hush money payment scheme involving adult film star Stormy Daniels. So what happens if Trump is indicted? One federal law enforcement source told CNN's John Miller over the weekend that Trump's Secret Service detail is actively engaged with authorities in New York City about how this arrest process is going to work. Now, it's usually a routine process of fingerprinting, a mugshot, and an arraignment. We all know that. It would not likely be a public event, and clearly his protective detail would move through the building with him. New York does not release most mugshots after a 2019 law intended to cut down on online extortion. Okay, so what about the jury? So, Sixth Amendment guarantees the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime should have been committed. So, the New York State Unified Court System Trial Juror Handbook explains the voir dire process by which jurors are selected. Those accepted by both the prosecution and defense as being free of bias or personal knowledge that could hinder his or her ability to judge a case impartially must take an oath to act fairly and impartially. Woo, child, that's going to be hard. Now, here's the big question. Could he go to jail? He hasn't even been indicted yet, y'all. So much less tried or convicted. So keep that in mind. Any indictment, even for a Class E felony in New York, would be for the kind of nonviolent offense that would not lead to jail time for any defendant. Okay. So I don't expect him to go to jail, but if he is indicted on any of these charges, jail time would only come if he was actually convicted and sentenced to jail time. Okay. And that's actually coming from a law professor at the University of California. So the Secret Service would also have to arrange for his protection in jail, something that is going to be logistically challenging. So for him to actually go to jail behind this, I don't see that happening. Okay. All right. Now, another thing that we need to also think about is Trump has claimed that he is 100% innocent in a post on his social media website, Truth Social, on Thursday, and baselessly claimed Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg was taking orders from the radical left. He states, "Our country is being destroyed as they tell us to be peaceful," Trump wrote in all caps in the post. So over the weekend, Trump claimed he was going to be arrested on Tuesday and called for protests, prompting some allies and advisors to privately urge the former president to tone down his rhetoric, according to news sources. All right, so you guys, I definitely wanted to make sure that you were up on that particular news and information that you can use here in the Brownstone as we prepare to move forward. So welcome to those of you all who are coming in through our different platforms. If y'all don't know, and if you've noticed, I've been looking around like this is because I'm on several different platforms at the same time. Okay, so I'm not trying to ignore you guys, but I definitely wanted you to know that we are here. Now, what are we going to be doing for the rest of the day? Providing you with additional content. Check out Cullen's Corner tonight at 8 p.m. Make sure that you're in the place. Again, I'm going to share his flyer. so that you guys can attend this evening if you would like. Go ahead and scan that. Take a screenshot of it if you're on your phone. Scan that to your phone and get ready, because that is the actual link to the room where the taping or the live event is going to go down. And again, we're going to be wrapping up why are so many professional Black women still single. All righty. And again, you guys, if you have not already gotten your copy of Brownstone Living Magazine, go ahead and get that copy. How are you going to do that? All you got to do is head over to brownstoneworldwide.com, and you're going to use this link right here, bit.ly/Brownstone Living March Preview, to get your copy of Brownstone Living Magazine. It's only $5.99 a month, and it is delivered directly to your inbox. Now, come Q2, the print option will be available, so do keep that in mind. Of course, you are going to have to pay the difference if you want it delivered and printed for you. We'll be happy to do that, okay? But we know the printing costs are up, and we want to make sure that we're not passing that cost on to you, okay? All right, you guys. A couple of other things that I definitely wanted to go over with you all before we leave today. I want you all to know how much we appreciate you all supporting us and growing with us. You've seen the changes. You see what's coming down the pipe. And if you haven't, I want you to read my screen one last time. Do you see what it says? Brownstone Worldwide Studios. So some things are in the works, and behind me you see our lovely screen. So we're going to be able to do some additional things in the future in Q2 that I'm excited about becoming a reality by June. So we're excited about that. I'm just going to leave it at that. We have some other things that are in the works for Q3 and Q4 that are going to knock your socks off. But we have to get through these next couple of months. Y'all, it's only 9 months left in the year. 9. March is already over as far as I'm concerned. So get ready for what is coming down the pipe for Brownstone Worldwide. We want you to definitely be a part of it. Okay. Again, if you want to be a part of the people in the neighborhood, I'm going to share this banner one last time before we get out of here. If you want to be a part of that, hang on just a minute. The neighborhood at brownstoneworldwide.com. Go ahead and send us an email with your bio, your website address, and also how you are impacting your community where you are, either through your business, your 501c3, or your other nonprofit, your ministry. Doesn't matter what ministry it is or what religion. We do not discriminate over here, because we already know that we're in the month of Ramadan. And for those of you all who do not know, Pluto has officially entered Aquarius. For those of you all, you know, it happened this morning at about 8:25, and we will be in this era until about January. Then it's until September, and then it's going to go away for a little while, and then it's going to come back in January, where Pluto will be in Aquarius again, and we'll be in this area again for about 200 years, 200 to 250 years. The last time that this happened, this is a once in a lifetime occurrence. The last time that this happened was in the 1700s. And what I want you guys to know is that during this time, that's when great things happened. There were wars that were fought. There were changes in technology, and other industrial revolutions occurred during this time. And so if you want more information about that, I'll be happy to share some with you for those of you. And that's why I say, if you got anything that you're impacting your community with your ministry or how you minister, we do not discriminate over here. Okay. So make sure that you know that. And again, the month of Ramadan actually started yesterday, and it's going to be a month-long celebration. Not only that, but the resurrection of Jesus Christ is being celebrated during this window of time with Easter. So we don't want to discriminate against anybody. We're not going to do that, okay? Because you're free to do what you want to here in the Brownstone, as long as you ain't hurting nobody. Okay. All right. I'm going to begin to wrap it up here so that I can continue to see how they are hurting this little man. Y'all should see this. If you have not seen it, again, I'm going to be sharing what they are doing to Mr. Shou Chew during this congressional hearing about the potential ban of TikTok. Now, you guys, 3 things that I always like to tell every single person before I leave every broadcast. 1, love your life. It is the only one that you have. 2, live your life to the fullest and embrace everything that is your life, because listen, folks, you only get one you. And lastly, breathe through every single moment. You guys, I will see you on the next edition of The Day Shift here in the Brownstone Worldwide Studios. It's your girl Paulette, and guess what, folks? I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.